chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Abide by community guidelines. Got it. All right. Good morning, everybody. See if we have anybody show up on this Thursday morning. Should be a little early for my buddy Zach over at Reloading Quest. So I don't know if we'll have him jump in or not. Oh, boy. Yep, we're going live early today. I gotta clean up these case mouths. And this 270 Winchester stuff. All right, we'll see who all jumps in here. I got you guys propped up, actually on an ammo box that's then propped up on part of my reloading bench, because I'm pretty sure I left my tripod out at the range. It's just the tripod I used to film, so a big loss, but gotta get another one. But good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone survived the eclipse and back to life normal. So I'm just doing some brass prep. Mech press for the win. Hey, look, Zach, I've already said that I thought it was going to be a little too early, since you're out there on the left coast. I've already said that it'd probably be a little too early, and we might not have Reloading Quest join us. And then look at you go, jumping in here in Alabama. So reload for hobby, mech press for the win. I've been really pleased with this mech marksman press. I went ahead and got the stand to go with it. I think that's an option. It's an optional accessory, but I went ahead and got the stand, and man, I couldn't be happier. With the stand, it puts it at a really good height on my reloading. And to mount it directly to the bench, I would end up having to sit down or something to use it. So you're working, but thought you'd stop in and say, hey, yeah, same here. I'm working as well, but decided to take a little bit of a break. So I'm on a coffee break at the moment. I telework. I work from home, so I'm always working, I guess we'll say. Yeah, I'm just doing some. It's not even really a full length resize that I'm doing on this 270 Winchester stuff. This is the primed. What I'm working on is the primed nickel plated cases that I got from American Reloading that I picked up a little while back. I did some videos about that stuff, but I've used 50. It was a box of 100. I've used 50, so I'm just gonna go through and load up the other 50 pieces. It actually sent me 106 pieces. So yeah, I'm just working on getting these case mouths ironed out a little bit. So it's not really a full on full length resize. Stuff doesn't even really need to be sized. It's just I want to make sure the case mouths are pretty concentric. You picked up a 257 Weatherby. Man. Hey, oh, by the way, have you seen? I don't know. I'm sure you follow Reloading Weatherby, his YouTube channel. Man, that dude just picked up a Weatherby Mark V Deluxe in 340 Weatherby mag. It is a sweet looking gun. You need to go check it out. Just finished another 108.6. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be loading up. I don't know. I hadn't really decided yet on how I want to do this. How I want to do these 50 pieces of 270. So I haven't really decided. I know probably going to be using. Probably going to be going with these. I don't know if it'll focus. Focus. 129 grain Barnes LRX. I'll be loading those up, but I haven't really decided how I want to do the loading on these guys. Hadn't quite ironed that out yet. So we'll see. I know it's going to be Hodgson Super Performance. That's one of my better performing 270 Winchester powders. But since the let's see. Also almost done building that annealer. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Can't wait to hear about that. But yeah, I'm thinking on the loading part. The amp annealer is still at the top of my list, by the way, of things I've got to buy. I've got to get into annealing. I've just got to do it long term, more of a long term approach here for what I'm trying to do with my brass life and hopefully improve velocity, consistency, and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I'm going to be going with Hodgson Super Performance. That'll be the powder that I plan on running in this 270 stuff. And it's shot well in the past with that exact bullet, that 129 grain LRX. Our cost into the machine so far is 380-ish. Nice. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Looking forward to seeing some pictures of that thing up and running. Video maybe. That'd be cool. But yeah, well, I just want to get these other 50 or so pieces of this nickel plated stuff. I just want to get it fire formed because I've already got 50 pieces. I actually have, let's see, I've got 30 that are once fired. And then the other 20. Yeah, the other 20. I load up with those Maguire ballistics. I went ahead and loaded up 20 of the load that shot the best. I'll send them over on Instagram. Yeah, still programming the dropper. Cool. I look forward to seeing that. Yeah, that'll be neat. So yeah, I picked up, so I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you're seeing these creases on powder. Man, it's getting outrageous. I posted a picture on my community tab here on YouTube. You know, Cabela's charging $75 for a pound of IMR 4350. And they're not alone. Looks like that's going to be the going rate around 65 and up for powders like that, IMR 4350, H 4350. That just that's I just can't do it. I can't afford to just go drop 75 bucks for a pound of powder. So especially when I don't compete. Like that's the other thing too, man. These guys that compete, these guys that are just weekend warriors, I don't see how they're going to be able to afford to continue shooting. I mean, things have gotten so outrageous in terms of cost for just for powder, really. Um, Bullets be pretty well, primers, if you can find them, those are going to be elevated just because they're difficult to find. But man, that powder, that increase in powder, boy, that hurts. But over the weekend, I was able to. I was down in Birmingham, Alabama, which is central Alabama. So that put me going there put me in a part of the world where they had. I got to go by Vans Sporting Goods. That's VANS, in Coleman, Alabama. Exit 305 off Interstate 65, and they had a massive powder selection, and they still had some powder reasonably priced. Like I picked up I picked up 2 pounds of Winchester 760. They had it for $38 a pound, and then I picked up 2 pounds of hybrid 100V. Same thing. I think they had it for like 37 a pound. So I went ahead and picked up 2 pounds of each. They still had Super Performance for I think 38 a pound. So there were some powders that were still reasonably priced. Right, that's still a little on the expensive side, but reasonably priced compared to these recent price increases. Yeah, seems to be the new norm for components. Yep, exactly. Which is it's frustrating, right? Especially if you've been reloading for a while and you knew the pre-COVID stuff and the what you used to be able to get components for. And because reloading to me is such a fun hobby, right? And I recommend it to everyone. But now, I, that recommendation is almost going to change, right? Because it's almost like you can't, not that you can't afford to reload, but man, it is getting so expensive in terms of that powder. If that's the new norm, you're talking $60 and $70 a pound of powder. That's yeah, no thanks, no thanks. You switched to your 8.6 because 1680 ended up like 36 to 40 bucks, and I can get 400-ish rounds out. Yeah, exactly. That I think that's so. What you just touched on there, Grimwatch, is that's exactly what I kind of. That's kind of the path that I'm going to go down, or at least that I would recommend to people. Is you're going to have to start utilizing powder in terms of okay, it might not be the best performing powder, but I can get good enough results and I can get a whole lot of rounds out of this pound, right? Or I can get as I try to maximize your yield, right? That's really what you're going to have to do. 'Cause, man, that just 75 bucks for IMR 4350. I was like, this is ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going to be switching it up, and even Shooter's World powder. That's another one that blew my mind. I was over on Mid South Shooter Supply. I think it was Mid South, and they were charging 60 bucks for like a pound of Shooter's World. I can't remember if it was match rifle or precision or whatever it is, but that, in my opinion, is absolutely ridiculous. Like that powder used to be 25, $26 a pound. Now you're charging over 100% increase on that stuff. That's beyond ridiculous. So yeah, that's definitely not okay. So hopefully what'll happen is, of course people will still purchase this stuff, but if that stuff starts to sit on the shelf and collect dust, that's the only way, that's the only way to really try to influence pricing at the end of the day. I mean, in a free market, right? Those guys can charge whatever they want to because if people are going to pay it, then that's fine. They'll just continue to charge it. But if their product starts to just sit on the shelf and goes unused, well, you know, something's got to give, right? M140 and 540 is just ridiculous. Well, see, that's the other thing though. So I was at Vans and I wanted to see what they had and they have a massive powder selection, by the way. And their Vitivory powders were, they were cheaper than a lot of the other stuff. A lot of the Hodgson stuff that's now 60 and $70 a pound. Their Vitivory stuff was 50, right? Like 50 and $55 a pound. You're better off buying that. You're better off buying the best powder you can buy if you're already going to spend that money. So it just, I don't know. It's crazy. Unfortunately, the load work gets cut short, so the optimum load may not be found. Well, so I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Mark O'Harold, or One Arm Pooh Bear Baits, that's an interesting name. Um, because you're seeing a lot of this information that's being put out on YouTube by, it doesn't matter who it is nowadays. You've got the Eric Cortinas of the world, right? The guys that compete, that are at the highest level, right, of precision and all that. And then you've got the people who sell the ammunition, like Hornady, and they have a podcast. And they put out a ton of great information. It's just, you have so many different competing either thoughts or ideas, commentary on all this stuff and what to do and what not to do. And it's like, oh, well, if you're shooting 3-shot groups, it's a waste of time. Don't even fool with it. If you're not shooting at least 20-shot groups, or 30 is where it becomes statistically significant, it's a waste of time. It's like, yeah, I understand that from a statistics standpoint, but from a reality standpoint of, I don't work at a, ammunition manufacturer where I'm sure they're not paying full price for their own bullets, right? I would doubt it. Probably get a little bit of an employee discount. Now, powder, sure. But, surely they got something worked out there too. Who knows? But just your average guy like myself, like a lot of other reloaders who are going to mostly be focused on working up loads to hunt with and all that, at some point you got to call, hey, this is good enough, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and go through 2 boxes. I'm not going to go through 2 boxes of orange bullets, spend a hundred bullets, which basically about $100. They're about $1 a bullet. I'm not going to spend $100 just to go see if this one load over here is going to be like way better than the other one in terms of, oh, well, this one shot, zero point 0.8, this other one shot 1.2. Let me go repeat this test, multiple times over, shoot 100 rounds just to verify whether or not that point 0.8 is going to be consistent enough for me to go kill a deer at 200 yards. Like, who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? That either load is going to go do what I need it to do. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people, it's good that a lot of people are putting out the information that they're putting out. It's just, man, some of this stuff, especially for somebody like myself, go shoot some 3 and 5-shot groups. Man, if it ain't a 3-inch group, you're probably good. Like, okay, yeah, I don't want 2-inch groups either, but at some point you just got to know when to call good. You know what I mean? Like, it's still on the lookout for trail balls. Well, good luck, because supposedly they don't make that anymore, so you probably won't ever see it. I was I can't remember the video or the channel I was watching, but they were talking about how they don't manufacture trail balls anymore. Hodgson doesn't, and that they were thinking about bringing it back, but as of right now, from what I understand, it's not actively being produced. So good luck. You might not ever find it. Midwest powder. So I've actually shot a little bit with their was it MP 620? It's the Reloader 19 equivalent. I shot a little bit of that, I believe, in 243 Winchester, and I'm about to shoot it in 25-06. So stay tuned for that. Yes, I'm about to test that in 25-06 with a Nosler ballistic tip and a Barnes tip TSX. So So yeah, stay tuned for that. 18 wheels. And what I've seen on that one, just to touch on that, is they talk about, utilizing, starting off with a lower minimum charge weight, but that you load it a little bit lighter just to be on the safe side. And from what I've seen in the little bit that I have used it before, it seems like the charge weight range is more in line almost exactly with Reloader 19. Not necessarily a hey, reduced by 10%. And just in my experience, right, it seems like it's almost identical to Reloader 19. So, got 4 pounds of N32C for 8.6. Every once in a while, an old dude brings it to a local show and I buy it. Yeah, that's basically it. And Grimwatch wants it for 8.62. Trying to get them to bring back N32C. You wasted 150 Sierra Match Kings for your 8.6. Oh, that sucks. Trail Boss is made in Australia and it got put as a loading powder in. Oh, okay. So they did. Well, that's the thing. Supposedly, where it was made in Australia, that's the plant that either had the accident, that caught fire, something happened at that facility, and so that's why this other YouTube channel, they were talking about it, saying that Trail Boss was a powder that you might not see, again for a long time. You might not see new Trail Boss being put on the shelf, anytime soon. Uh, My 20 Fallout 6, love Reloader 19 and 22 with a Game King. Okay, good. Because I'm hoping that Midwest Powders is more of a clone of Reloader 19. That's the hope, right? So if it is, then that's good, because according to the Nosler load data, that was the most accurate powder that they tested, was Reloader 19. And for the 100 grain bullets, I think that was the most accurate and the highest velocity option was Reloader 19. So, and Barnes has data for that for the 100 grain tip TSX, and it gives pretty good velocities in that over there on the Barnes side as well. I've been buying Midwest but haven't tested any yet. Can't beat the price though. Catch you all later. I have to get out and load a load of. All right, man. Well, don't work too hard today. Be careful out there. Appreciate you stopping by and saying hey. I know early in the day live streams, the attendance is going to be a little light, right? I know everybody's working out, doing their thing. Picking up 2,000, 3,000 pieces. Oh, wow. From where? Oh, I heard some voices out there. I got the door on my building open, so. Yeah, where are you getting that much 6 arc brass? That's a that's quite a load of brass right there. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can get some traction on this 25-06 project. I haven't necessarily had the, I guess, the accuracy that I was wanting to have at this point in time. So that's why I've already tried 2 different bullets with 1 powder. So now I'm just going to switch, go 2 other bullets with a different powder. And we're just going to see, right? So I tested which I still have more factory ammo to shoot, see how it does. It's the same stuff, that Superformance 117 grain SST, so see how it does. And then tested out the 90 grain GMX with H4831. Not bad, but not great. SDs were pretty all over the place. Velocity was just pretty erratic. And then when I switched to the exact same powder, exact same charge weights with the Meguiar Ballistics 95 grain copper rose bullet, velocity was much more consistent. Combustion seemed to be better than the 90 grain GMX. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm hoping that this Midwest powders is gonna prove to be a good option. Few retailers have, yeah, okay, so it is Starline. Uh, yeah, Starline's one of my favorite brands of brass. Pacific Tool and Gauge receiver and bolt and Criterion barrel. Oh man, that should be a shooter right there. That's pretty sweet. That'd be a good combination. And Cody gun. That so speaking of that, um, if you can pick them up, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, whatever. It's not going to focus really good, but this is the 88 grain, the Burger 88 grain, flat base varmint. Give those a try in your 6 arc. I shot those out of a Savage 110 tactical. They shot really really well. So give the give those a try if you're looking for a bullet. But yeah, just got done. So I've resized 50 pieces of this nickel plated 270 brass. That's what I just got done doing. And really it was just to kind of iron out that case mouth, get it more concentric. So good to go there. I need to get them trimmed. Well, no, I can't trim them. That's right. I can't trim them because they're primed. So can't do that. No big deal. I'll measure them, make sure they're not too long. And then I'll chamfer, deburr, case mouth, run a brush up in the neck, and then dump some powder, get them loaded, and be good to go. So, do you crimp your hunting rounds? I do not. I only run bolt guns. I don't. I don't do anything semi-auto. Um, I don't run anything that I load for any bolt action. Now, I am about to. So, along with what I just got done doing with the 270 stuff, right before I went live, I just got done decapping a whole lot. I say a whole lot, 50 pieces um, of 3030 Winchester brass. So I will be crimping these. Right, this is I'm about to start a project for my dad, and so I was going through trying to find 50 pieces of the same head stamp 3030 brass out here in the building. So I've got 50 pieces of Winchester that I'm going to use. So I will crimp that. So for a lever gun or semi-auto, yeah, I crimp, but depends on the cartridge for you. Gas guns, yeah, no bolts or bolts, no, yeah, yeah. That's my thought process, and that's one of the reasons why. Not one of the reasons why. I guess it kind of is, but you you'll see on my channel if you have been around long enough. I'm not a big gas gun guy. That's not. It's for me, it's a restrictive platform between magazine length, pressure. Got to put a crimp on there to make sure you don't have bullets set back and all this other stuff. Like it's just there's a lot going on, right? And it's not my thing. I love bolt action rifles. That's what I really really enjoy loading for. So for me, I just don't really crimp. Why don't you think crimping isn't for bolt guns? It's not. Just I don't. Um, I don't think you need it. It's not the recoil impulse and the violence of a semi-auto action. I think more or less dictates, hey, you probably need to crimp, right? Um, that same effect in a bolt gun, I don't. I haven't seen an issue with bullet setback or move anything like that. You single load your bolt guns. I single load them when I'm testing 100%. I mean, I very rarely do I mag feed when I'm testing out at the range. So, but no, I mean, you could definitely crimp um, in a bolt gun. I mean, no one says you can't. It's just I simply don't. Now that might be something worth testing though. At the same time, um, crimping can make a way more accurate round. I know we'll see exactly. Yeah, I was just about to go there, Mark. So that's definitely something that is probably worth testing. it's, and I would think maybe it just logically, if you're through it and think, if recoil could possibly play a factor and, all that, maybe if you have a heavier recoiling round, because you got to think if you're single feeding, like what Grimwatch is talking about, then okay, now, yeah, you could probably see some benefit there, possibly. Again, something to test. I don't know. Um, but if you're going to feed them a mag, even in a bolt gun, might be something to try too. I don't know. I mean, it's worth it. But then at that point, is it better to crimp your round, or is it better? Is it more advantageous to just run a heavier neck tension? You know what I'm saying? Like, would that would that be better? I don't know. You know, it might be one of those where you could do an either or. Hey, you can run a 2 thou neck tension and then crimp your rounds, and by the time you crimp it, okay, well now it's really like you're running 4 thou, 5 thou neck tension. Okay, well would you just be better off running that to begin with? I don't know. It comes down to neck tension, turning, annealing, all sorts of stuff plays into it, not just crimping. Right. No, and that's the thing. It's yeah. There's so many rabbit holes to go, but that's why hunting is a fun hobby, in my opinion, because there are so many variables that you have to think about, right, when you're doing all this stuff. So there's just a lot to it, a lot that goes into it. I was using some Redding Imperial sizing die wax on these 270 rounds, even though it was not really. It's just more or less ironing out the necks. I still want to rub it on there. In a nutshell, the bullet needs to start moving at the same time in the pressure curve and in the recoil impulse. That's consistency. One of the big things that you'll hear, like the competition guys talk about, is that lead angle, right? And how, now they go with, what is it, like 1.5 degree or something like that. There's so much that goes into it, right? Because if it's not, if your rounds are not super concentric, and then you start to get pitch and yaw with the bullet and all this going on, there's a lot that goes into it. But what I think one of the things that you hear a lot of people say now, this is more of a common thread across a lot of different platforms on YouTube. Folks that are focused on reloading or either shooting competition or whatever it is, um, you have to start with the best components that you can possibly start there. Which, back to the earlier point of the live stream, is getting harder and harder to afford, right? Because things are getting more and more expensive. So, greetings from San Fran today, unfortunately. Yeah, I would agree with you there. But good morning. Happy you could stop in, join us. Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of those guys say. And that's why when you go and look at what a lot of the guys, especially like F class and that type of stuff, F open or whatever that Eric and all those guys shoot, they'll tell you get Lapua brass, get Burger bullets, the hybrid 180, I think, because they all shoot that 7 millimeter PRCW essentially. A lot of them shoot somewhere in the 100, I think it's the 180 Burger hybrids or something in Lapua brass and N5, 55. Yeah, and go shoot that, right, and go build a custom gun and spend thousands of dollars on the gun and get an amazing gunsmith to build it, and then go shoot it and put a tuner on it, and it'll shoot lights out, right? It's like that. I think that's the part where you know I like to listen to everything those guys say, because I do believe in the consistency aspect of it and trying to eliminate variation. I think that's one of the big things that you want to do as a reloader is variable, you know, reduction or mitigation of the impact of these variables. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to go build a gun that costs thousands of dollars. I don't really have any intention of competing. If I did, that's what I would do. Just like he says, hit the easy button. Go just copy what other people are doing and are already having success with, and just go do that. And that, yeah, that's exactly how you do it. You don't reinvent the wheel, but, you know, for me, it's not, I'm going to try to reduce variation in my loads best I can, but, you know, I don't have the Dylan with the auto drive and the amp annealer and the um, the auto dyed, inside outside neck turning equipment and a Henderson trimmer and a primal rights, primer cedar. I don't have all that. I don't have a zero area 4190 turret press. I don't have any of that, right? So for me, it's just trying to make the best ammunition possible and trying to be as consistent and repeatable with my process as I can be, right? That's where I think, that's sort of the message that I think a lot of people in reloading need to take away from all this stuff, is try to eliminate variation where you can, right? Try to do things exactly the same way every time when you're going through your process. Like a for instance would be, hey, if you're going to take your headspace measurement and you're going to use these guys, right, the little Hornady headspace comparator sets, well, everybody talks about, oh, well, there's variation in all this stuff. Yeah, of course there is. It's all manufactured items. So, of course, there's variation in tolerances and all this stuff. But if you're going to do it, I don't have a set of calipers out here, but make sure you attach it to the calipers the exact same way in the exact same orientation every single time you do it. You know, if you put it on there with the brass thumb wheel out, then do that. If it's positioned on the caliper in a certain place, position it the exact same way every time. That's really, you know, as just an average Joe reloader, like that's really the stuff that you need to start doing to try to help reduce variation. Yeah, Gerard power trimmer. Any work done with 280 Ackley improved? Negative. Negative, but I got a buddy that has one, maybe, in 280 Ackley improved. And that is such a sweet round. That's such a good cartridge. Now, I've done work in 280 Remington. Done a little bit of work in that, but not the Ackley version. That is a sweet round, by the way. I'm actually looking at rebarreling a Savage, like rebarreling that. It's the American Classic. Right now it's chambered in 300 Win Mag. But I was looking and was thinking about rebarreling it to 7 Psalm. I've mentioned this on a live stream before that cartridge really, really is intriguing to me. That 7 Psalm. So I'm thinking about doing that. And really, one of the main reasons why I want to rebarrel that thing down to a 7 now that I'm wanting to test. Speaking of Lapua brass, the local has some PRC and 240. Nice. 7 Psalm brass. They have some on their website. It's spotty. Oh, well, that stinks. I don't know why it would be spotty. Maybe my service isn't that great. Stand by. Stand by. Alrighty. Let's see, are we back up and running yet? The resolution is reduced, voice is choppy. Okay, hopefully you guys stand by. Ooh, let's get in the house. Alrighty. Try to get you guys set up. Oh, we'll get you set up on a can of green beans. There we go. Got you guys set up on a can of green beans. Instantly better. Okay, yeah, I came inside. So, yeah, where are you going to find 7 Song Brass? ADG, I think I mentioned that. ADG has some online. Shooting Bot has a search function. Hey, somebody out there? Get them. 60 to 70% of components. Nice. Instantly better, much better. Okay, well, yeah, there you go. I believe there's more variation at the bench than anywhere. No sandbags, lead sled. Oh, yeah, exactly. That too, as the bullet exits differently. See, that's something too. Mark brings up a really good point that, that's actually something that I have tried to do a better job of myself. And that is do things at the actual shooting bench, try to be as consistent as possible, right? I'm with you there. Try to set you guys up a little bit higher. Oh, y'all should see the rig I got going on. This back here, this is, yeah, that's pretty redneck. But yeah, no, I'm with you, Mark. That's the thing. I've tried to improve that over time and really focus on doing a much better job, because you try to do a good job of, variation, mitigating variation into reloading bench, but then you go and shoot at the range. And to your point, you'll throw a bipod on there one day, you'll use a certain bag one day, a different bag another day, no rear bag, whatever, right? So I've really tried to hone in on dialing in my setup to where I do it exactly the same way. I set up, because I mostly, when I go to the range, I shoot off only one bench. There's one bench that I really like to shoot at. Every now and then someone's there and they're at that bench, and so I'm not able to actually shoot from that one. But I really try to do everything the same way, no matter the rifle and all that stuff. So that's what it's like to be smuggled in Alabama. Cool. Yeah, exactly, KM. Use green beans as a projectile in a movie. ATF coming to entrap you. I wasn't here. Exactly. Hey, I don't know anything. I'm back. Line is a mile long for my rebar. Oh, that's terrible. I'm a tripod hunter mostly now. 90% of my guns use Arca rails. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. That's the other thing too. I mean, if you're, you want to make sure that you're shooting in a way and you're testing in a way where, you're gonna be experiencing similar conditions, that you're gonna experience when you're hunting, right? Which is why I continue to test a lot even during hunting season, because it's in the wintertime. Well, that's when I'm gonna be taking my shots that really matter on game, is during hunting season and in the wintertime. So I want to test the loads that I want to take into the field. I want to test them during the same conditions that I'm going to be using them in, right? So if I go and test something in July, when here in Alabama the humidity is 150%, it's just outrageous, and the temperature is 105, that's not really going to tell me the whole story when I'm going to be using that load when it's 25 degrees, right? It's just, there's a big difference there. So, not that I don't test year round, because I do. I test as much as I can, but it makes a difference. They train over and over consistently. Yeah, exactly. KM. Oh, what barrel did I mention I wanted to get? I was looking at, was it a McGowan? Is that how you say that? McGowan? I don't know. I've never done a barrel swap. I've never replaced a barrel, never purchased a custom barrel. This will be my first experience trying to do that. And it's not like I'm even gonna buy it, next week or anything. April, was it Monday? Tax deadline, so gotta love that. Gotta take care of that first. Then after that, I'm looking at the McGowan. I think it's McGowan. Yeah, because they had one. I think the one I looked at, it was like $500 when it was all said and done for everything. Yeah, it was a pre-fit with a fully cut chamber and everything, Sammy chamber, all that stuff. So we'll see. But I was looking at whatever I get on the Savage. It'll be the 7 Psalm. Hang on. Let me turn that off. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. It'll be the 7 Psalm is what I'm really, really wanting to rebarrel that Savage in. It's in a 300 Win Mag now. And the 7 Psalm is, I believe it's a short action cartridge, but with it being a long action and having that mag length in there from the 300 Win Mag, that's why I'm thinking, depending on how that throat is cut and all that stuff, load bullet's pretty long, probably be a good option in that 7 Psalm. So I'm hoping the Midwest powder works decent at that price. Yes, I am too, because I bought an 8-pound jug of that MP 620. Yeah, MP 620. Now that's the only one I've purchased so far, but I think it'll work good. Figuring you'll make them work. Yeah, that exactly. Don't want to pay $75 a pound for Varget. I don't blame you. McGowan allows 50% deposit. Yeah, I saw that, but Excalibur has 20% off sales. And that's it too, just trying to figure out, there's a handful, more than that, of different barrel makers. 7 Psalm brass, $4 each. Yeah, it's not cheap. It is not cheap stuff at all. It's very expensive brass, for sure. McGowan is up there. I'm a Criterion guy. Mostech. Yeah, Mostech makes good barrels. They make really good barrels for 350 Legend, I think. They're a name that pops up a lot in 350 Legend. So there's actually a couple of rebarreling projects that I'm looking at currently. One is that it's a Savage Model 114 American Classic in 300 Win Mag. So I'm looking at rebarreling that one, and that's the one where I'm talking about 7 Psalm. If it's 300 Win Mag, why not? See, I've thought about doing that, KM. Because I've already got 7 Rim Mag brass, all that. So I keep going back and forth. Haven't really decided yet. Who knows? Might get a 7 Psalm barrel and a 7 Rim Mag barrel. No, I'm just kidding. But I have gone back and forth on that. You have a 7 PRCW reamer. If you want chamber 1, I think bolt face matches. I think it does. I think the bolt face matches. And that was the other thing too, is I wanted something that just had the same bolt face. I'm not into the whole, swapping, buying a new bolt and all this other stuff. I was like, I just want to keep it as simple as possible. So that kind of narrows down your window of available cartridges if you're going to keep it in the same bolt face family. So, but yeah, I thought about doing a 7 rim mag. I thought about doing that. Brass is cheaper. Yeah, I've already got 50 pieces of Peterson brass if I go that route. What about 300 PRC? I think that's my next one. That, man, that's a thumper. Hey, leave it alone. Just leave him alone. Dog's over there messing with the Roomba. So he doesn't want to play right now. He just wants to chill and recharge. I know. Sad. Yeah, so that's one rebarreling project. The other one that I'm thinking about doing is I've got a Remington 700 Tactical and 300 Blackout. And I'm looking at rebarreling that. I was thinking of going one of two directions, right? I was thinking about going with a 350 Legend because it's the same bolt face. That's why I was looking at, I think, the Excalibur barrels. I was looking at those guys for a 350 Legend, possibly a 350 Legend barrel. But then I also was thinking maybe go something like a 22 Nosler, same bolt face. So yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking, the more I think about it, I'm leaning more and more towards a 22 Nosler as opposed to a 350 Legend on that one. I love 350 Legend. I think it's a great round. But yeah, I don't know. I just hadn't decided yet. 300 PRC would definitely be a thumper though. And that's for shooting big stuff way over yonder. Be visiting the Shoals area if you know a local gunsmith. In the Shoals area, I don't know about in the Shoals area, but you want to check out Meredith Rifles. I think it's M-E-R, is it MEREDITH? Meredith Rifles. Man, I don't know. They might be over in Athens, which is close to, kind of close to the Shoals area. It's not in the Shoals area, I don't think, but Meredith Rifles. Go check them out. They make, that's the only gunsmith / rifle builder. There's some competition guys that I know that I'm friends with, and that's the only person they go to. And they swear by him. I've had another buddy build just a custom hunting rig from him, and he swears by him. So yeah, I would check him out. Any thought for 350 Legend AR-15 brass same bolt? Well, like I said, that 350 Legend, in my opinion, is an amazing round, especially for hunting. You know, whitetail, hogs, that type of stuff. I've killed a doe with it. It was a bolt action. It was the Winchester XPR in 350 Legend. But yeah, I'm a big fan. That's why I'm thinking about rebarreling that rifle to a 350 Legend. It's a really good round. So for hunting purposes, right? If you're wanting to essentially beef up your 223, that's a good way to do it. Not enough Remington 700s with a PPC bolt face. Good morning from Alaska. Or Alaska Andy is his name, so I'm just making an assumption. Plus you're saying good morning. I guess it technically is still morning. Afternoon if you're on the East Coast. It's 11:29 right now here in Alabama. Pop has a 350 Legend AR, magazine issues galore, but the Duramags work okay. Oh, okay. So it could be some magazine issues. May want to just, if you're going the AR route, you know, bolt action doesn't, yeah, you live in Alaska. Cool. That's one of those places, man, I'd love to get to at some point in time. It's a bit of a haul from Alabama, so kind of a long way away. Six PRC or 6 UM. I don't know what UM means. Ultra mag? I don't know. It's 9:30 there. Oh yeah, out west. I guess. Well, yeah. What, you're 2 hours behind? So yeah, you could be ultra mag. Yeah. Okay. Did you say why a 7 Psalm? I got a pair in Shoals that loves that gun. However, my shoulder doesn't. Yeah. No. It's one of those where if if I'm gonna go through, I don't want to say hassle. That's not the right word. Hassle's not the right word. Oregon, good old Oregon. Um, Go Ducks, I guess, or Beavers. It's if I'm going to go through the process of purchasing a custom barrel, having the work done, then in my mind, I could just rebarrel it to a 7 rim mag. I could definitely do that. But it just seems like, you know, seems like, feels like. We had a good service on that last night at church. Seems like and feels like. That was a really good word that the pastor brought. But that if I'm going to go through that process and spend that money, then I should want to try to have a really efficient cartridge for that application or for that going through that process. Why would I not want to just go ahead and if I'm going to spend the money anyway, why not get a really efficient version? 7 Psalm is more of a really efficient version of a 7 rim mag. I mean, so that's really the thought process there. I mean, it's really no more difficult than that or in depth than that. I don't have any. I don't have any. I don't know. I don't really have a dog in that fight. I love 7mm cartridges. I thought about doing just a. I thought about rebarreling my 243, my Remington 700 243 to a 7mm 08. So, you know, have them square up your action and bolt face and lugs if you're going to spend the money. Yeah, exactly. That too, right? Grimwatch. Yeah, that's sort of the because if you're gonna have somebody tear it apart anyway, and then on top of that you're gonna spend the money on a barrel. You know, it's like, do I really want to spend the money on a barrel and then deal with a belted Magnum? Not really. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just, you know, it's just a more efficient and modernized case. That would be the only reason I would go with the 7 Psalm. Just ballistically, it looks like a pretty sweet round. Do a fast twist 7 rim mag. Well, yeah, that too. So I actually thought about doing that. 18 wheels. Yeah, that was in my head. I was like, well, I could do a 1 in 8 7 rim mag and just, yeah, exactly, make the 7 PRC guys cry. Yeah, that would be funny. Hi from Blount County, Alabama. Hey, got a local individual. Why not hit the easy button, go 7 PRCW, I'll loan you the Reamer. That too, yeah, that is the easy button. You're right. And just go buy some Vitavori N555, some Burger 180 hybrids, and, you know, punch little tiny holes at long distance all day long. You're right, that is the easy button. Oh, the dog found his chew toy. Oh, wait a second. Stand by.
It's time for our next 224 Valkyrie video. If you saw the last video, I'm sorry. It was a bit of a...
All right. I got JRB going in the background, so I love watching JRB playlists. 7 Psalm can hit over a mile away, so it can do it all. Good day from Tennessee. Oh, got some folks starting to pile in from the south. My stepdaughter just got home, so. JRB is a character and a half. Yeah, you better believe it. Rotumbo with 69.9 with Sierra 162 grain Game King. Also has an easy button with Peterson brass. I miss JRB. I think we say that every live stream. Yes, we do. That's why I watch his stuff just about every day. I just have it on as background noise. So you hear somebody pull up? Let's see. But yeah, so I'm torn between the 7 rim mag and the 7, because the 7 rim mag would probably be the easiest. I'm sure there's a pre-fit barrel I can just go and screw on with headspace gauges and call it a day on that Savage. That would be, to be honest with you, that would be the easiest route. Just doing that, just a straight barrel swap and seeing how that does. But, which I could get a cheaper barrel that way, right? What's up?
Hey, where you talk?
I'm doing a live stream.
Oh, wow.
What? Y'all have a good day?
Is anyone on it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people on it.
Hey, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
What's up?
Oh my
There's
Lord.
37
All right.
people, 42. Okay, bye.
Yeah, y'all go. Going somewhere. Take Parker outside too when you get a chance, please.
I have a nail appointment.
Oh, okay, whatever. She's got a nail appointment, so much for that. Yeah, the JRB stuff. That's yeah, I hear you. That'd be me. My hair's naturally blonde. Yeah, the JRB stuff, man. It's just sad that he quit making videos altogether. It would be great if he would start back doing that, but yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, so I may go, there might be a couple of different routes I go with the barrel swap. It might be one of those where I can get like was it a Shaw? I think Shaw makes pretty cheap Savage pre-fit barrels. And I think they even have one sitting in stock right now, 7 rim mag. I could go and pick one. I think it's like $240. And I could just do a barrel swap, 7 rim mag, see how it shoots. And if that thing doesn't really shoot that great, then I could possibly go down the path of, hey, get a, more of a custom setup with a 7 SAUM and go down that whole path. Yeah. I'm out of the loop. Is there a JRB story why he stopped? No, it's not. He came out and posted, he actually took those videos down. He posted a few videos back early, I want to say it was back early last year, I think. He posted like his plans for the year. He had gotten in this pressure gauge, the pressure trace system, I think is what it's called, or something like that. And he was going to be doing like some shotgun pressure testing and different things like that. And then all of a sudden, you didn't hear him make videos at all. Like, he didn't post anything, like almost a whole year. And then I want to say maybe back at the beginning of the year, or I can't remember, I'm losing track of time, but he posted a couple of videos and just said, hey, essentially, hey, here's a channel update. He shut down his Patreon account, so he's no longer doing Patreon, so he's no longer taking, donations and all that stuff. He's just, he was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, that's, he's stopping. I don't think he really gave a reason why. Harvey has a reamer for you. That's pretty cool to get a full custom barrel. Yeah, it definitely is. My Savage has a 338-06 barrel, came from Shaw. Shoots for, okay, good. Because it would be nice to have some more feedback on the Shaw barrels. Since I'm looking at going that route, because they are really on the cheaper side, right, for pre-fits. So 338-06, you guys will get Reloading Quest fired up with the 338-06. That's a round he really likes. Yeah, KM, it's just something like, out of nowhere, he posted a couple of random videos and was like, hey, he mentioned one where it was like, I think it was a 6.5 Creedmoor video where basically he was going through all his stuff. He was giving away his Thompson Center Compass, that one gun in his 6.5 Creedmoor playlist. I mean, that gun shot really well, and he did a ton of videos on it. But he's giving that gun away to an acquaintance of his, so he was kind of getting it back squared away, validating loads and stuff. And then he said he was basically going through and just kind of cleaning out his house and getting rid of a bunch of stuff that he didn't really want to keep. And he was just, you might see a video pop up from him from time to time, but yeah, I think he's basically done. So, which is sad. Because he, in my opinion, he's got the best reloading content on YouTube, period. I don't think anybody does it better. Let's see. Rim mag brass, easy to find, cheaper than some. Where y'all going? All right. Be careful. Bye, Melania.
Bye.
Y'all be careful, Parker. Come here. Adios.
Bye.
Rim mag brass, easy to find and cheaper than some. True, the belt is another. It is. That's that would be, like I said, if I'm going to spend the money on a barrel, which I don't think the belt would be necessarily a problem. You could pick up what is that Larry Willis die that JRB showed on his channel. You could pick up that die to help with that sizing right above the belt. So I don't really think it'd be a major issue, but it's one more thing to worry about, right? It's like, if I don't have to go that route, then why would I go that route, right? That's my thought process there. Haven't seen bolt action reloading around either. Yeah, that's another one. He'll drop a video every now and then. Every now and then he'll drop a video. But man, yeah, he's another one that put out really good content for a long time, and then just kind of, you haven't heard much from him. So you guys are stuck with me. You're not going to get really good content out of this channel, but you'll get something, I guess, better than nothing. You get what you get, and you don't pitch a fit. We'll say that. I just got into reloading, and I love it. Also have cast my own lead bullets. Black powder revolver, that is fun as well. Well, then you need to go check out, Taylor, go check out CW Long Shot on YouTube if you're into casting. Hey, what's the matter? Are you hungry? Is that the problem? Go check out CW Long Shot on YouTube. Go look at his channel. That dude he does a lot of cast bullets and stuff, so. How long if 7 Psalm? I was thinking 26. I believe 26 would be, because once you get over 26, I think the McGowan barrel I was looking at, I want to say that was the brand. Once you get over 26, anything longer than that, it starts becoming an upcharge, right? So I was just going to call it good at 26. That die is $100. I was going to order one for 300 Win Mag, but I figured I would wait and see how many firings I got. Hey, yeah, so that would be good to know, because I've got to do a 300 Win Mag project as well, and so it would be good to know. I've got that SIG brass, so it'd be interesting to see how many firings you get out of the brass before you have a problem. Because I thought about buying that die too, I just haven't, and I'm not sure that I will. Stand by. Hey, what are you, out of food? All right, there you go. That's what you're whining about. You got food now. So I've got the 270 Winchester stuff sitting here, the nickel plated brass. Oh, I gotta get powder. Dun, 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 dun. So since I'm loading 270 Winchester, this is what I'm going with. Y'all have a wonderful day. Hey, you too, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, and appreciate you bringing up the crimp comment. That's definitely something to think about, even in a bolt action. If it'd be something worth testing, if you really wanted to figure out the effects of it, you got to go test. Try to control the variables and go test it. Because they both are hard to find, so hard to find. Yeah, that too. That's another good reason to reload, in my opinion. Right? There's with everything getting more and more expensive. you really have to evaluate whether or not you want to jump into this as a hobby, right? It just depends on your end goals, right? And I've done videos on this in the past. You know, if you're a person that shoots a lot, you shoot all the time, you want to be able to shoot all the time, or whatever, right? Like any, if you want to really dial in hunting ammunition, if you want to hit a target a long way away, whatever it is, right? There's different reasons why we get into this hobby, but yeah, you have to evaluate it before you go jumping in and see if it makes sense to you. Otherwise, if you're just going to go do mag dumps with 9mm and 223, you're probably better off just buying factory ammo, to be honest with you. Just buy it bulk and then just go shoot, have fun. Because this consumes a lot of your time once you get into it and you realize you love it. Yeah, you wind up doing it a lot. Send an email to JRB, maybe as a fellow YouTuber, he will send you his die. Yeah, exactly. That'd be nice. Picked up my 277 PRC yesterday. Oh, sweet. Definitely be interested in hearing how that thing shoots. 4 groove, 8 twist, Campy barrel, Terminus Zeus, QC action. See, all that sounds really expensive. That statement right there, I don't know any of that stuff, but it sounds expensive. Also got my modified 300 Wisdom barrel that goes with it too, loading today. 300 Wisdom is a great round. I mean, that's still one used quite a bit in competition, I do believe. That is a heck of a round. So, and I had good luck loading 300 Wisdom with this stuff. And the Barnes, I can't remember. It might be the 180 grain, maybe 180 grain tip TSX. That might have been what I loaded up for my buddy. I can't remember at this point. I'd have to go back and look. Not really. Barrels are 700 each completed. That's expensive in my world. That's a little spendy. So, but yeah, I mean, realistically, that's not bad at all. Because the action, at the end of the day, the action is the cheapest thing you buy. So if you go and get you a really nice action to start off with, if you're going to do a custom build, get you a really, really nice action as much as you can afford, because that's literally going to be the cheapest thing you buy moving forward. If you're replacing barrels, especially if you compete, I mean, that's like the cheapest part of the build is the action, because you're just going to keep using it over and over. You're barrel swapping, buying components, that's where the expense comes in. You use Super Performance in 300 Wisdom 150. Just bought a Quigley 4 dual focal point. Custom made reticle for, if you haven't seen these scopes, you have to check them out. What is that? A Quigley Ford dual focal point, 5 to 25 by 50. Custom made reticle for the 6.5 Creedmoor. If you haven't seen them, check them out. Okay, well, go check them out, guys. Action was the Terminus Zeus. Quick change long action with 2 bolts, standard and mag. Oh, cool. Yeah, 2150 on the action. I'm assuming that's what you're referencing, Derek. So yeah, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, that's where you want to put your money, is in the action, right? Go listen to everything Eric Cortina and all those guys are saying that he interviews. It's all in the fire control. Make sure that is really squared away. And then from there, buy good barrels, buy good components, go shoot, right? Like if you're going to do it, that's what I mean. Like if you're going to do it the way Derek's doing it. Go do it that way. Go spend the money. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna even get into the custom game, just go with a really, really, really nice action, whatever you can afford, the best that you could possibly afford, and then because at that point you're just gonna keep it forever, right? In quotes, till you go 6 feet under, and just barrel swap at that point. Yeah, for another 700, you get a new rifle with new completed barrels. Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah, barrels are 350 and then 350 to cut, chamber, crown, all that fun stuff, bead blast. Yeah, I mean, like once you buy the action and you've got your trigger and all that fun stuff and everything, yeah, you're changing you're essentially just buying a new rifle with the barrel. So that's good stuff. Because I mean, really, you know, and that's not bad. You go and spend $700 on a factory rifle already. You're going to get hit or miss performance, right? You go and spend $700 on a barrel and have the work done and all that. It's probably going to shoot really good. Loaded 170 Burger VLDs, 165 Cubon long range. So I use a wet tumbler. I use the Frankfurt Arsenal Light, the light version, LITE, the small one. I wet tumble. I've never dry tumbled brass, so I can't give you a comparison between the two. I used to not clean brass at all, which if you go watch Eric Cortina, he doesn't clean his brass. A lot of those guys don't clean their brass. From what he says, you know, a lot of those competition guys, they're just to the point it doesn't matter, right? But for me, I clean my brass because I'm not loading massive volumes, so it's not really an inconvenience for me to decap 50 pieces of brass of one cartridge, 50 of another, because I typically load in batches of 50 for testing, and then go decap them all, throw them in, maybe clean 100 pieces at a time. That's what I do. And I use the Frankfurt Arsenal brand, the little detergent pack looking things that they sell. I just throw one of those in there with hot water, go tumble it for maybe an hour, and then dry the stuff in the oven. That's all I do. And it works really well, by the way. I use stainless steel pins too when I tumble. Loaded 190 spear impacts. Oh, sweet. Definitely interested in how the 190 spear impacts do in that 300 Wisdom. I had loaded up the 140 spear impact in a 6.5 Creedmoor and let my buddy use it, and he killed an 8-point, really nice 8-point with it this season. And he was tickled to death. He loved the performance of that bullet, so he's a big fan. Competition guys don't have time to clean. I wet tumble. Yeah, I'm with you, Derek. I used to not clean my brass just because it was like I was like, man, that's one more thing I got to do, and I don't really want to do it. But then my buddy Neil actually he hooked me up. He was like, hey, I got this whole tumbling set up. He had bought a bunch of reloading stuff off a guy. He's like, I got this whole tumbling set up. I'm not going to use it. You can have it if you want it. And he gave me a really good price on it. It was one of those deals I couldn't pass up, right? It was a really good deal. So I was like, well, I got it now. Might as well just start incorporating it into my process. So, okay, you use a tumbler from Harbor Freight. Yeah, I've seen a ton of people. There's videos online, you know, about those things and people using those tumble brass. Don't forget, those guys' brass don't hit the ground, so a little different. Yeah, mine doesn't either. Now, I will say because I don't shoot any gas guns or anything, that I would definitely clean if I was running gas guns. That brass tends to get pretty dirty and chewed up, and you know, especially you have no idea where that thing's going to go unless you got a brass catcher on the side of it. But in my bolt setup, I always, as soon as I go to unload the round, I'm catching that piece of brass. I keep my hand right there so I can, I don't let my brass hit the ground. But I just like to clean the brass. I'm kind of like you, Derek. I just like to clean it. Just because it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't really, it's not a negative thing, I guess. Loaded the 190 spears with, okay, Vitavory 165. Yeah, which I did have on a set of brass. Okay, so Tony did use the Larry Willis die. Okay, I haven't seen that issue yet, but again, I haven't loaded. I've only gone through the brass, and shot some of that stuff once, right? So I haven't gone back and actually reloaded some of the once fired 300 Win Mag brass. So I haven't even really experienced that issue yet on the right above, trying to size right above the belt. Oh, it's a Brooks. I hear you wanting to shoot small groups. You did the dirty brass for years, but don't like anything dirty in my chambers. Yeah, that too. That's something you also have to keep in mind, right? I mean, because you hear people kind of bring that up more and more lately too. It's like you want to be careful, especially in a hunting situation, dirt, water, whatever it is, stuff gets in your chamber. That can do some weird stuff, right, with the fitment of the brass, and then also pressures and different things like that. So made a lot of hot load 5.56 for loud range. So nice. Would shoot today, but raining all day, going out tomorrow. See, that's what, if we walk outside right now, the sun's shining, but for the past 3 days, it's done nothing but rain. We had storms move through. I might try to get to the range tomorrow, so we'll see. Oh, okay, you're up in Ohio. Good deal. Yeah, I've got some stuff I need to test. 270 Winchester. I'll be loading up the 129 grain LRX. I'll be loading that up with that Superformance powder. So see how that does. Raised down there in Huntsville. Nice. Good deal. Yeah, I was actually born and raised in Trinity, so not far from here, but I've been in the Huntsville area since 2008. So yeah, I've had really good luck with, I think it's around that 60 grain mark with the 129 LRX. It was somewhere around that range. It's not a super hot load. I think it's only maybe 30, 50 or 31. So I could probably push it faster, but in the previous Tika that I had in 270, that shot really well. Anything around that 60 grain mark seemed to shoot really well. And so I want to do some more testing with it. I'll probably load up 50 rounds. I'll load up a box. 59.5, yep. In the 130 tip TSX. Yeah, that was exactly same thing. Mine is around that exact same charge weight, somewhere in that range. I've had good luck with the 130 and the 130 tip TSX and the 129 LRX. So yeah, same. Which I am glad that, I've kind of, this stuff I don't think has gone up in price like a lot of the other powders, thankfully, or at least I haven't seen it go up yet. Yeah, it's really good speed, by the way, because I think I was around 31, so it's really good speed. But yeah, I was at a gun store over the weekend, and they had this stuff for 38 bucks a pound. So I'm a big fan of this powder in 270 Winchester. So I plan on trying to keep a few pounds of it at all times. 270 is one of my favorite cartridges. Kill any turkeys this year? I've actually never been turkey hunting, ever. I love to deer hunt. Never been turkey hunting. But these guys have killed a lot of turkeys, right? Go watch their videos if you want to see some turkeys die. But yeah, this is that nickel plated stuff I picked up from American Reloading, the primed Federal stuff. So I've already shot through 50 pieces. It was a 100-piece box. Shot through 50. Now I'm going to shoot through another 50. Ever shoot hammer bullets? I have shot hammer bullets before. I've shot them in 350 Legend and 270 Winchester. I don't think I've shot them in 6.5 Creedmoor. If I did, I just can't remember it. Alabama turkey hunting is like the Hunger Games. Oh, I bet it is. Public land hunting, period. In Alabama, if you're over in Bankhead, if you go hunt Bankhead National Forest, it's like the Hunger Games. Same thing when we went up and hunted Kentucky. It's this past season, man. You don't talk about a war zone up there. Feel bad for those deer up there. Good night. Sounds like the Civil War. What knife you carry daily? So there's a couple that I like to carry. One is a Benchmade? Both are Benchmade. One's the mini bug out. Really like that one. And then the other one is the Griptilian or whatever it's called. Those are pretty good. Okay, you've tried to get Superformance to work. Only luck you've had with it. See, I'm right the opposite. In the 6.5 Creedmoor testing I've done, I didn't really get the performance that I thought I would. You know, because according to Hornady, this is a really good velocity option, but I never saw that in 6.5 Creedmoor. And the accuracy, I had decent results with the 140 gold dots, but, you know, I never really had amazing. I didn't have as good results as I've had with 270 Winchester. I'll say that. Zero experience with black powder guns, by the way. So, no. 129 LRX, IMR 4831, 3.3, once fire brass, 210 primer. Nice. We know how you do it with Superformance. Oh, yeah, will do. I'm about to, I'll load up. I'll probably just load up 50 and go see how these do. Produced a 1/4 minute group. Nice. No, I haven't killed a moose. No, I have not. Is the price gone up on them? Gone down? I don't know. It was a gift. It was a Christmas gift back a few years ago. No, I haven't really put much thought into different bottom metal or anything like that. I'm really not a big fan of a detachable box mag on my hunting rifles. I don't know. I want things to try to be as, you know, streamlined, and I don't want stuff catching on things and all that. So I'm not a big detachable mag kind of guy. Unless it's a flush fit. If it's a flush fit or close to it, I'm okay with it. But way up, really? I wonder why they went up on price. That's weird. Best detached mag is the Remington Factory. Really? I don't have much experience with them. Flush and work. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm more of a fan of like the hinged floor plate on the hunting rifles that I have. I'd rather have just a hinged floor plate and go that route. So yeah, floor plate the way to go. And that's how it is on the Savage that I have. And then the 2 Remington 700s, they're both hinged floor plates. Even that 700 tactical and 300 blackout, it's just a hinged floor plate. So, and that's the way I like for my hunting setups. They've streamlined their offerings and went up. Oh wow, about 30 to 40%. Dang. Then yeah, I won't be buying one. I won't be buying one then. I had to go detach mag. Oh yeah, it's not made with feed lips. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and probably like in a custom rig or something like that, I would, you know, probably just go with some type of detachable mag. Bottom metal preferred barrel blanks is also another good prefit barrel for Savage. Okay, it's good to know. Bottom metal is from Pacific. Let's see. You misspelled your. It's YOU''RE. The second your is correctly spelled, not the first one. No, I have not had to mess with a floor plate spring, and hope I never do. Preferred barrel blanks. Yeah, I need to take a look at them. Those Shaw barrels, pretty cheap. I think I saw on their website or somewhere, E. Arthur Brown, whoever it is that sells them as well. They had the Shaw 7 rim mag. It was like $220. So for a pre-fit, that's pretty cheap. Oh no, I don't think no, I didn't mess with 7 rim mag with the 140 or the 150. I did the 160. I believe I loaded up some 160, but I couldn't tell you I cannot remember the results to save my life. It was in a Ruger M77 Hawkeye, and I've since gotten rid of that gun, so I don't have it anymore. But just the initial, results. I mean, they weren't anything really to write home about or, post and be like, oh man, look at these amazing results. So Rotumbo Reloader 22 are getting me in the 32s. Wow, nice. And I've got some Rotumbo, so I've got 1 pound of Reloader 22. Can't decide what I'm going to use that on. Oh, that'd be cool. Cow elk hunt, that'd be pretty sweet. Make sure you video that. That'd be cool. It'd be cool to see. Oh, man. Somebody out there? Dog is over by the window and he's kind of giving somebody the eye. He's only a meat guy. Yep, same here. I'm a meat hunter. I mean, trust me, I'd love to go kill a, really nice buck or a bull if it was an elk. But yeah, I care most about stacking my freezer full of venison. So that's why, like this season, I got extremely lucky to even kill an 8-point and a 9-point. I had the best season I've ever had in my life this past deer season. And I just got lucky because in both instances, those bucks walked out before a doe did. Because I would have shot a doe first. Like that's just how I am. I want to get meat on the ground. Yeah, you watch the hunting videos. Man, and this was really, I've just kind of started trying to do that where I'm either filming through the scope or, doing something like that. I want to do more of that. Not to the extent of like these guys do, the hunting public and all that, but for gun hunts especially, I want to be able to just try to film through the scope, and that's pretty cool. What do you call that? I think that's a pretty cool setup. Being able to watch that. Yeah, you and me both, Derek. Let me know when you're down here, and we can both go hunt closer to your dad's in Madison County. I'm fine with that. But yeah, that's been pretty cool. Just trying to catch some of those, film some of that through the scope. It's really neat. And what I really like about it too, because the little adapter that I bought for my scope, it's I think it was like maybe $30 on Amazon. But it's really nice being able to go back and kind of replay the video and see exactly, your point of aim when the gun goes off. It's really nice to be able to just instantly go back and see that feedback and go, okay, yep, that's a dead deer. So 110 acres in Lauderdale County. Nice. That's where you go. AG, Lake Fort Worth, Florida. Lake Worth, not Fort Worth. Lake Worth, Florida. Nice. Appreciate you joining us. What's over there? neighbor get home or something. My dog just won't leave it alone. Aurora, Indiana. Nice. Talked to an elk guide 2 nights ago. I was amazed when he said his #1 elk rifle was an old Remington 700 and 270 Win shooting 130 Nosler. Hey, if it works, it works. Apparently it worked for Jack O'Connor. So yeah, it's a flat shooting round, right? With the 130, with the right bullet construction, you know, a solid copper, like a Nosler partition, something like that. Some type of bonded bullet, you know, 3,100 feet per second, plus or minus, maybe a little more if you hand load, push the velocity. That's probably elk medicine all day. Yeah, ballistic tips. Oh, I didn't catch that part. Nosler ballistic tips. Really? That's interesting. I don't know if I would have. That's probably not the bullet I would have chose. Yeah, probably not the bullet I would have chose. Oh, Louisiana, how y'all make it out with that monsoon yesterday? It did rain a little bit, that's for sure. He says the gun his hunters use if they come without one. Huh. Nice. Setup has killed over 1,000 elk in 30 years, according to him. That's a lot of elk in 30 years, by the way. That's a lot of elk. But I mean, at the same time, you know, if you think about what's the shot distance on these elk, right? On average, 100, 200 yards, whatever. I mean, within a certain distance, that 270 is just, that thing's going to be lethal on an elk. He said they take about 60 to 70 per year. He's in Oregon. Holy smokes. Average shot distance, 300 yards. Yeah, 60 to 70 elk per year. Wow. Good night. He's thinning the herd, ain't he? That's pretty awesome, though. That's definitely a bucket list hunt for me, is to get out west and go kill an elk. So that's pretty cool. Okay, Tony, I've killed elk with Nosler ballistic tip 150 and 280 Remington. It's a great round, by the way. He said they have the second most populated elk number, second to Colorado. Interesting. Yeah, I need to get out there and go kill an elk. That's on the list of things to do, but all right, guys, we're probably about to call it a day. I have a great 280 Remington with 150 ballistic tips. 280 Remington is such an underrated round. That's another cartridge that I'll definitely own. I would like to get a really nice Remington 700, something like a BDL or a CDL in 280 Remington. That would be pretty cool. That would definitely be it's kind of like a, you know, it's a Remington cartridge, so I want the Remington 700, something in a nice wood stock. But then it's similar to the 270 Winchester rifle that I really want is a Winchester Model 70 Super Grade. You know, that's another one of those. So 280 Ackley improved. That'd be a sweet round. That would be a sweet round, but. All right, we're gonna call it done. We are at almost 100 minutes live. So this has been the longest, I think the longest live stream I've done. So appreciate all y'all stopping by, hanging out. Yeah, appreciate the conversation, all the input. So we will catch you guys next time. Y'all stay tuned. I'm about to load up some 270, probably be doing a video on it pretty soon. And then 25-06 as well. That'll be coming, plus 30 Winchester. About to start that project. So a lot of stuff coming on the channel, so y'all stay tuned. But yep, y'all have a great day, and we'll catch y'all next time. Oh, I told y'all I had an interesting setup with how my phone was. All right, yep. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch y'all next time.